Okay, today we are doing isosceles triangles. Isosceles, the definition of isosceles triangle is that one second. Two sides are the same. So, an easy sketch. Why are you getting mad at me? But can I finish my lecture first? I promise you'll have plenty of time. This lecture goes by pretty quickly. Okay? Okay. So, a sketch, we are doing, I completely lost track of time. Okay. Isosceles triangle. An isosceles triangle is a triangle with at least two congruent sides. So if you wanted to sketch it, it would look something like this. Two congruent sides. Okay. So an isosceles triangle has four different parts to it. It has your legs. These are your two legs. How many legs do you have? You have two legs, and they're pretty much the same, right? So that's how I remember it. You have two legs. Isosceles triangle have two legs that are the same. So how would you label this? This would be called leg AB and leg AC. Which one has to be our base? BC. BC is our base. Which ones do you think are our base angles? Angle B is a base angle, and angle C is a base angle. Why are they base angles? Because look, they're on the base. Yep. Angle B is a base angle, and angle C is a base angle. Finally, which one do you think is our vertex angle? A. That's the four different parts to an isosceles triangle. Okay, this next part gets a tiny bit wordy. You just have to bear with me for a second. I'm going to read the definitions out. Isosceles triangle theorem. If two sides of a triangle are congruent, that means it's an isosceles, then the angles opposite of them are also congruent. Opposite angles. So here's your side. The opposite angle is right there and right there. If this is congruent to this angle is congruent to this. Let's write that down. So AB is congruent to AC, therefore the opposite side from AC is angle B, is congruent to what other angle? What's it? You sure it's A? C. Okay, and then the converse of that. Converse is just when you switch it around. If two angles of a triangle are congruent, then the opposite sides are also congruent. So if these two are congruent, their opposite sides are congruent. Angle C is congruent to angle B, so that means side AB is congruent to side AC. Look, it's just this, these two things are the same, they just switch the order around. Okay? All this is saying, this is really, really fancy, but what it is saying is if you have an isosceles triangle, your legs are congruent, your base angles are congruent. That's what that entire paragraph is trying to say. Let's try doing an example. Is this 30 here, is this 30 a vertex or is this a base angle? How do you know it's a vertex? Because this is the base down here. That's not on the base, that's the vertex. So this means this is a base angle, and then this is a base angle. So if this angle, base angle is x, what does this base angle have to be? Also x. So we can write an equation to find the angle. We can find the equation to find the angle measurement of x. We know this first x plus this second x plus 30 is equal to 180. 2x plus 30 equals 180 minus 30 minus 30, and we get 2x is equal to 150. Divide both sides by 2, and we get x is equal to 75. Try doing 3 on your own. Mm-hmm. Oh, don't worry about that. I was talking to... Are you guys working on this one right here? Are you guys... Mm-hmm. Well, I need to do what? Okay. Okay. This angle here, is this a vertex or is this a base angle? Ooh. That is a vertex. So, is this angle going to be x or is this angle going to be 40? It's going to be 40 because these are our two base angles. 40 plus 40 plus x equals 180. 80 plus x equals 180 minus 80 minus 80. X is equal to 100. Do we need more time? It's not drawn to scale. After my lecture. Do you want to go at all? Okay. This next one, we're switching this up a little bit. Now we're going to try to find the side. So you have to figure out what the legs are and what we have to figure out what the legs are now. In order to find the legs, remember you can draw straight lines to the opposite side. So this is a leg of the isosceles triangle. This is the leg of an isosceles triangle. Okay? The legs are congruent to each other. So an easy equation we can write would be 2x minus 4 is this leg is equal to this leg, x plus 5. Try to solve for x on your own. Okay. Minus x, we get x minus 4 is equal to 5, plus 4, we get x is equal to 9. Combine here, we have 2 times 9 minus 4, that's 18 minus 4 is 14. Figure out what this one is. 9 plus 5 is also 14. Last one up here, 2 times 9 plus 2, 18 plus 2 is 20. Does that make sense to have 14, 14, 20 on an isosceles triangle? Yeah, because two of the sides have to be the same. The two legs have to be the same. Okay, last one. Unfortunately for us, we cannot figure out which one of these are our, we're trying to find x. We don't know which one of these is our legs. We know these two are not. We know these are not two legs to each other. So we know it's either going to be these two or these two. It's one of those two. We need to figure out this angle in order to know which one it is. So in order to find that angle, you can add these two together. 56 plus 62. That's going to be 118. And subtract it from how many? So 180 minus 118 is going to be 62. So if this is 62, that means this is a base angle and that's a base angle. So our two legs are here and here. What does x have to be equal to? Has to be equal to 42. All right, one more thing and then we're done. Well, it's sort of done. Okay, so I'm doing homework a little bit differently. Cool. Homework's being done a little bit differently. Instead of turning in your paper to me, you're going to turn it in online. How are you going to turn it in online? There's 3 quizzes here. This is homework 4.1. This is homework 4.2. This is homework 4.3. You can use your homework. You're supposed to use your homework to solve these. You have until Friday at midnight to turn these 3 in for a grade. I'm going to put them in over on Saturday or Sunday. You have unlimited attempts and unlimited time per attempt. So, the same questions as your homework. So, right now what I want you guys to do, your homework for today is 4, 5, 1 through 10. There will be a quiz on this eventually. So you should be either working on these homework quizzes or you should be working on 4, 5. Not 1 through 10.
4, 5, 1 through 10.
Yeah, sorry. 1 through 10. 4, 5, 1 through 10. Sorry.